Meantime, Gilas coach Chot took to Twitter to thank the PBA board for adjusting the league's season to allow the national team to practice for the FIBA World Cup in Spain. Reyes said that July 15th is the earliest date that the team can practice as a whole. The tournament is scheduled to start at the end of August. On the line, we have the head coach of the national team, Coach Chot Reyes. Good evening, Coach.
Hi, good evening, Gino. Good evening, Jessica. And good evening to all your viewers.
All right, Coach, I guess the first question is this enough time to prepare for the World Cup?
Well, originally I had obviously wanted more time. But July 15 or 22 is definitely much better than the original August 13 schedule. So, I can't complain. I'm pretty pleased with the concession that the PBA board has given us.
Coach, of course, we've always been asking you about the whether or not you're retaining the lineup from FIBA Asia. But of course, now there's discussions on JaVale McGee and Andre Blatche. Could you give us more insight into this?
Well, everybody knows that we've been talking to JaVale McGee for a long time. Finally, we had some breakthroughs. Unfortunately, JaVale McGee is injured, and we just found out that he might need to undergo surgery over the All-Star break. Because of that development, we thought it prudent to also get a backup. And Andre Blatche had signified his interest, and he's willing to be naturalized to come play for the Philippines. That's why, Congressman Robbie Puno was so kind as to file the bill for both players.
When was Andre Blatche approached for the possibility of joining the lineup?
Quite recently, because we only knew about McGee's planned surgery pretty recently as well. So we scampered to find a backup, and we had a couple of names. We had several names in our list, but quite simply, it's important that the player says yes. We can have all the best players in our minds, but unless they agree to come and play, that really doesn't mean anything. Andre Blatche said yes right away, so that's why we filed his name and JaVale's for naturalization immediately.
Looking at Andre Blatche's game, Coach, obviously, he's been having a fantastic season with the Nets. And you can arguably say he's been the most consistent player for the Nets throughout the season so far in the NBA. How do you think his game would, I guess, help out Gilas-Pilipinas?
Andre Blatche plays very similar to Marcus Dautit. I don't know if you agree, but he has a very similar skill set. So, I think he's very suited to the type of game we'd like to play. He's very skilled. Might not be as athletic as JaVale McGee, but then again, who is there's no 7-footer who is as athletic as JaVale. So I think he'll fit in very well. I have no question about his style of play. My only question is how quickly he can gel with the rest of the team.
Another thing that comes into play, Coach, when you talk about the Phil-Ams in Gilas-Pilipinas, obviously they always say they're playing for pride, for flag and country. And then you have Marcos, who was naturalized, but everyone sees him as such an integral part of Gilas as well, that everyone basically sees him as a Filipino already. But when you talk about Andre Blatche and JaVale McGee being naturalized, what will they be playing for?
We are saying all these because we've seen him already play, and really in his best for the Philippines. Guarantee you, when his name first came up, there were just as many doubts and uncertainties as these two guys right now. So we can never really tell, until we find out and they suit up and play. I will tell you that Marcos at the start, I'm sure really didn't know how much he would love the Philippines until he had the actual experience. Just calling a spade a spade. I'm pretty sure at the start, Marcos also played for the class. And, I'm sure that these two guys, Andre Blatche and will see the same thing. But yes, it's different because he's visited country twice already. After the All-Star, he came back a few months. He came back to the Philippines a few months after, and he really likes it here. So, that's an added dimension there for JaVale. Unfortunately, he's injured, so, we had to do our job and get a backup. And that backup, we were very fortunate to get a solid veteran in Andre Blatche. And both are young. JaVale is 26, Andre is 28. So I feel they're very, that's a great age, really, for the program.
Now, Coach, I also understand that we can naturalize as many players as we want, but when it comes to the World Cup, in the lineup, we're only allowed to have one naturalized player. Is this correct?
Correct. But there is a June 30 deadline for us to submit a 24-man pool. And in that pool, you can have more than one naturalized player. So if you don't include them in the pool, in the 24-man pool that you submit to FIBA, there is no way you can put in a player anymore. So that's our objective at this point, to be able to put Marcus, JaVale, and Andre's names in that 24-man pool. And that will give us the flexibility to make a decision come tournament time.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Coach.
Thanks, Coach, and good luck.